Welcome back. It is a Feel Good Breakfast Show, and yes, today is Nelson Mandela Day. And in the words of Tata Madiba himself, he once said, "Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world." And 10 years post his passing, his legacy lives on through the youth of Mzansi. But how are they continuing that legacy, and what have they learned from his life? Now, here to help us answer these questions are social media content creators. We have Jade Oliver and Sianda Mputa here with us today. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I would imagine, maybe, Jade, I'll start with you. We get in this space that can often be seen as gratuitous, the social media creation, content creation. And everyone's like, wow, when you see someone get it right, it lands, and it's powerful because it's authentic and it's true. A lot of the time, you don't get to use your power for impact in the way that you'd like to, because we've got to live a commercial life. Days like today, not so much. How does it feel to plug in to that social media network now, being driven by these notions? How do you feel about your gig on Nelson Mandela Day?
I really feel like it falls hand in hand. We are here, we can do what we do mostly because of him.
Yeah.
And he really inspired us with a lot of determination, hope, forgiveness. That just is the baseline for everything we do right now.
You are so young. Sorry, I have to interject here because I'm like twice as old as all of you, really. And I have a living memory of Tata Madiba and moments. I've been present there. I've been lucky enough to be a part of that. How have you stayed connected to Madiba's legacy? What has informed the picture that you have in your heart and mind of Madiba?
To be honest, the love is everywhere in South Africa, even though, you know, we are young and we haven't lived in the times where he was the most at his peak. You know, the people in South Africa, you can't not love it. You see it, you feel it wherever you are here. The legacy lives on through all our people, even the youngsters.
Those that are sustaining. I love that.
Definitely. Now, Sianda, I want to know from you. I was in conversation with friends over the weekend, and they were like, you know what, the Gen Zs, they're the generation that's going to change things because they question everything. They're not subservient like, I think, previous generations in that way, but they are making an impact. How do you feel our youth are using their platforms for the greater good and not just for the sensation of it?
Well, I'm a millennial, but I look up to the Gen Zs, even though I'm older, because they say what they feel. Like, they don't hold back for anybody. They live freely, which is what I'm sure Tata Madiba would have loved for us to just live freely and be able to do what we want to do and not what we're forced to do.
I like that. And that's true. That is true.
Completely, and I love that. I think it should be the notion of humanity to look up to the generation that's taking over. That's the way it works. Why are we looking back? Unless it is helping us improve as we are moving forward in that sense. This world feels more polarized now than ever before. It feels like race is more of an issue than ever before. Religion is more of an issue. It gets darkest before the dawn, and I have a feeling that a lot of this is because individuals are wrestling with these notions. How do you as a young person feel about the polarized world that you exist in now? Is race an issue for you every day? Is it something that's underpinning your existence? Is it an afterthought? I say loosely. How have you been able to fit this into your kind of understanding of the world right now?
You know, it's not really a big thing. It is very much there in our mind, but, you know, it's not something that's driving. And unity, Madiba taught us a lot about unity. So you can't really see any of that. It doesn't change any of our decisions. It's actually great working together. And what I've also got with connecting with a lot of different races, different experiences, cultural shocks that you come across, which actually it's very full of wisdom.
That's kind of our thing in South Africa. We are the cultural shock to the world, I think, man, and I love that.
I think, you know, as social media content creators, there's a huge responsibility that comes with the content you put out there, especially to your followers, especially if they are younger. But Sianda, do you perhaps have any words of wisdom or advice that you would love to share to your peers or younger following?
I would say the first thing to do is stay true to yourself and what you believe in, have good morals, and always be conscious of the fact that there's somebody watching that's looking up to you. I think if you have those down, then you'll do good.
And you'll do good for others as well, which is
Exactly.
fantastic. You're getting very wise here in your millennial status here. You're almost drifting a little bit older than that. Jade, I'm going to ask you one last question as well, because you are quite fierce in your energy and you always bring that, which I love. Where does that come from? What advice do you have for other young women specifically in South Africa to tap into that energy?
You know, things I will actually take from Madiba is literally being that 1 in a million. You
Yeah.
have to believe you can be that 1 in a million. And that's just, you have to stay determined, and the hope that comes from nowhere.
Yes.
That is very inspirational from him. And you just have to stick with it. Stay with the faith, and that's what's going to get you through.
I love it. And you have to be 1 in a million if you're going to be a social media influencer, because there are millions
Yes,
out
we
there,
are.
man. So if you're going to be good, that's good. You've got to be 1 in a million. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy today, and thank you for using your
Thank you so
platforms
much for having
in
us.
this way.
Thank
we love
you.
you guys. Gen Zs, millennials, us older folk, we're okay. Madiba Day is okay.